Well, greetings, brothers and sisters, and welcome to Begin by Praying. Now, last week we talked about pride and how a prideful spirit is the opposite of everything that God created us to be. So this week we're going to talk about the flip side of that coin and how God did create us to be humble. Now, the worldview of a humble person is one that is fearful and beaten down and void of self-respect. A person of humility is thought to be weak and unassertive. Proverbs 3:34 says that God opposes the proud, but he gives favor to the humble. So what's the big deal here about being humble? Why does God want his people to be humble? Especially when you consider that God himself demands our praise. Does that make him arrogant? Well, one definition of the word arrogance is an exaggerated sense of one's own importance and abilities. Does that describe God? I don't think so. None of us could even begin to overestimate God's importance. So I think we can all agree that God is not arrogant, and he doesn't need our praise in order to survive. He is worthy of our praise because he is a holy God, but it is for our benefit that we praise him, not his. So with that in mind, how about us? Do we tend to overestimate our own importance and our own capabilities? When I think about some of the messes I made in my life and the many nights that I've wasted laying awake worrying about things that are beyond my control, I would have to say yes. We all tend to think more highly of ourselves than we ought to. Every time we leave God out of the equation and make our decisions without considering him or his plans or his will for our lives, we are acting arrogantly. Now, God will let us steer our own lives if that's what we want, but he won't share the steering wheel. And this is where humility comes in. When the Israelites refused to humble themselves before God, he couldn't steer them anywhere. More than once, the Bible refers to them as a stubborn and stiff-necked people. And in the book of Numbers, they flat out refused to enter into the land of milk and honey, the promised land that God gave them. And as a consequence, they wandered around in the wilderness until that generation died off, and God was able to take their children, who were humble, into the promised land. The prophet Micah tells us in chapter 6, he has shown you, O man, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you? But to do justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God. The kind of humbleness that the Bible speaks of is not a call to be fearful and beaten down and with zero self-respect. It is a call to die to ourselves and be humble before the one who died for us. When we surrender to our God, he will make us strong in our weaknesses. He is the one whose ability and importance cannot be exaggerated. God will empower us when we walk with humility, and he will make all things possible. Now that's an interesting phrase, and we're going to talk more about it next week. I don't want you to miss this, so make sure you come back next week and check this out on the BBP page. But until then, thank you for joining me here today, and you keep your eyes on Jesus and not on your troubles. Thank you.